What's up, Damani? Damani is a drummer and drum educator, and he has a online business where he helps other drummers to excel their abilities. So great to have you here. And he's had some success, and I wanted to interview him so you guys could get some value and maybe get some ideas for your own online businesses. So where were you at before we met? And tell us a little bit about your business.
So yeah, been online making YouTube videos for a long time. I think we put up our first video around 2012. Grew a following, social media, all that. And as far as, starting a business, we figured, hey, the way people become successful is by, posting on social media and building a following. That's all we had seen people do. Didn't really know, though, anything about the real systems that go behind finding customers and systematically bringing them into your company. You just figure you post and then maybe you run an ad and tell them that they can buy the thing. And so, yeah, we were making content for years. We started our own drum lesson websites where it was like, low ticket, $20 a month type thing where you're giving them a ton of lessons. People would sign up, people wouldn't stay. We got to a point, like after years and years and years, finally got to a point where, barely scraping in $5,000-6,000 a month. And that was, adding new lessons every week, adding new drumless tracks every week, going live to try to, add some support to it every weekend. What we noticed is that no one who, like, out of the hundreds of people sometimes that might have been paying to make up that $5,000 to $6,000 a month, when we would go live to try to, give them extra support, maybe one person, two people would show up, maybe. Mm-hmm. And, after a long time of trying to figure things out, I've always would see these programs like, but it always felt like they were talking to business people who were selling some other business opportunity, right? Like, I can teach you how to teach other people how to make money, or some marketing agency thing. And I never saw musicians actually talking about their, first of all, I never saw musicians other than some of the big conglomerate companies having real success at all, even if they had a presence and had a following. Even guys that I know who were like famous musicians, famous drummers, they weren't making that much money online. And so when I saw what you were talking about, I was like, well, he's a musician. I haven't seen this before. So I checked it out, watched the presentation, the webinar. And the thing that when I saw that people who were doing watercolor were making $50,000 months, or people who were doing trumpet lessons. And I was just like, for lack of better terms, what I thought to myself was like, if these guys could do it, surely I can do. Well, I don't know how they're doing this, but there just must be something that they don't know. But if they can do it, I definitely think I can do this. So it was, I booked a call, hopped in with Matt, I think it was, who I talked to. Yeah, and that was September 11th. It was a Sunday, September 11th, 2022. And it was like a risk to me, right? When I first joined, I was like, I'm going to sign up. So I signed up, and I just hit the ground running. I just knew that I was going to take action on everything. I went through everything as quickly as I could. I started taking action on things as I went through the trainings. And within the first 10 days, I'd already made 10 grand. Wow. And the first 4 weeks of being in the program, I already made 20 grand. And I hadn't had a month that was less than 20 grand since.
Wow. What's your record month now?
80 grand.
80 grand. Wow. Okay. So what was different? What made this shift happen to you? What was it?
So for me, I think it was, first of all, I never thought anyone would pay high ticket or even pay nearly as much as what we charge now for what we have. Because what we have now is I'll put it this way. I just really thought that most musicians just wouldn't pay for education because the companies that were bigger than us, that had all of the big name, teachers and all that type of stuff, was not super expensive either, right? And so I was like, well, if those guys aren't charging this much. There's no way we can. What can we offer that they're not offering, right? But then when I came into the program and saw how it was structured, and I was like, I already believed that the way that we were doing it and other companies were doing it didn't serve the drummers the best anyway. Most guys who go through the program that way or go through anyone's program that way, where it's basically just a library of videos where they can watch and see a ton of, lessons from a whole bunch of different teachers, and it's just a ton of content. It doesn't leave you with the results that you actually came for. It's I call it now, and I say this a lot in home marketing, I call it paid YouTube. That's basically what it is. You get a library of videos that you just pay for. And so, but you're still left alone to figure it out on your own. And so I had already been kind of flirting around with, once I learned what a high ticket offer looks like, not just what a high ticket offer, but what high ticket service, what a high level service looks like to actually get clients results. I said, man, we've kind of experimented with this idea before with something but high ticket to us was like, we're going to charge $300 and see if people would, and we got some people to do it, and those people did get drastic results. And so there was like really a mindset shift that happened for me that let me know that the best way for me to be able to serve them, the only way that we'll be able to serve them at the highest level, is to charge them more, because now we can actually guarantee their results. They're more committed because they actually are bought in. And what I found was that everyone who paid more, they get more results because they show up ready to learn. They put in the work outside of the club that we have. And it's just a completely different attitude and level of service, and a lot less technical support or any support, issue. It's a lot less of that versus the people who were paying $10 or $20 a month, who were always a support headache. So.
Okay, cool. So what is it about being inside like a mastermind of other online businesses that has helped you, like, specifically?
So I would say the first thing that helped me in this situation was the fact that I paid high ticket to get to be a part of it, and then the value that I got immediately from doing so allowed me to have a mindset shift that, no, people need to do this in order to actually be able to realize what they need to realize. And then number two, having that sense of, it's like having a reference. Seeing people who are doing what you're trying to do, it lets you know that it's actually possible. Because I promise you that the vast majority of people who are charging not enough money don't think it's realistic or possible, because they don't see it happening around them and they can't believe it. But when you get into a group of people where, like, oh, such and such just had a $50,000 a month, such and such just had a $30,000 a month, such and such just made $20,000 and they just started, such and such just made 20 grand and they started 2 days ago, like that type of thing that's like constantly happening. And then you get to ask the questions of what's working for those people and then when you have a problem, you can bring your problem to the group so that, the answers that you need it's very likely to be inside that mastermind, that group of people, because it's more than just your mind looking at it.
Awesome. So what would you say to anyone that's on the fence about moving forward on something like this?
Yeah, I would honestly say that it's one of the best things that you can do, because not doing anything and trying to figure it out by yourself is something that I did for a long time. Because I thought that, well, yes, it doesn't take all of that. Whatever the case is that you think, well, I can find a cheaper way to figure out and learn how to do it. But it's never cheaper. It's always more expensive, because time is always worth more than money. And then you will always, why would you want to spend? I would rather spend $10,000, $20,000, $50,000 today and make $30,000 a month for the rest of the year than to try to spend 10 years like I did, trying to figure it out on your own, trying to crack the code, having small successes. But then as soon as you make the investment, all the information is there for you. And then you have the support to help you as you implement it. It was literally, I tell people all the time, it was 10 years that I was trying to work on this and trying to get to, my goal was $20,000 a month. And in 2 weeks, 4 weeks, I did that after joining this program. So it was like, and it's been consistent ever since. So
amazing, man. I'm proud of you. And it's just the beginning.